What's up guys, my name is Ace, and as you guys probably already know, we got the campaign reveal for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but that was just a campaign trailer, and we've only seen campaign details so far. However, yesterday there were also a bunch of little pieces of information about multiplayer, so today I'm going to put all of that together and share everything that we know so far about Call of Duty Modern Warfare's multiplayer this year. Most of the stuff I'll be sharing is 100% confirmed, and it was actually revealed within graphics or actual statements from official sources at Infinity Ward or Activision. But there are going to be a few things here as well that are rumored leaks that I'll be talking about. I'll be sure to separate that so you guys know what is rumor and what is actually confirmed. So the first thing that's confirmed, and this is huge news that's very, very surprising actually, crossplay is confirmed for Xbox, PS4, as well as PC. This is something that we've been asking for forever with Call of Duty, I think, is we've always thought it would be cool to have Xbox and PlayStation players playing together. It's finally happening, and this was a huge shocker. When we actually found out about this at the Infinity Ward studio, the room was actually very excited. You could see everyone there was absolutely shocked. If you would have asked me a month ago if I thought this game would have crossplay, I would say no, not a chance. Maybe next year with the next generation of consoles, but I absolutely did not expect crossplay to be coming this year, but it is confirmed. Now, this does raise a lot of questions that we still don't have answers to, like how are they going to implement crossplay, especially how are they going to implement PC players versus console players? Are they all just going to be thrown into the same pool of players? Or is it going to be like Fortnite handles it, where mouse and keyboard players have their own player pool, but if you are a console player and you want to play with one of your friends on PC, for instance, then you'll end up in that pool of players against PC players, and that is your choice to do so. We don't know how they're going to do that yet. I'm sure we'll get more information on that in the coming weeks or months. Definitely within the coming months, I would say. But it is a little bit of a concern that I have. Another question that's raised here when you think about crossplay is how is their server infrastructure going to be handled? Are they going to be using the same server infrastructure we've seen for the past several years? Or are they now going to be making a shift to something like Microsoft's Azure servers, which Sony and Microsoft have made a deal when it comes to those servers? I think that would be a great move, and we may actually see an upgrade to the infrastructure, but at this point, that is just speculation based on the confirmed information that we have. But that's the first thing, and that is absolutely massive for the franchise. Crossplay is finally here. The next thing is also quite big for the Call of Duty franchise. There is no more Season Pass, or at least no more traditional Season Pass as we know it, is what they stated. So they may still bring some sort of a pass in the future that relates to something aside from maps, but they have confirmed all maps will be free for everyone, and they will not be splitting up the player base into different map playlists or anything like that. This is something that has actually been a long time coming in Call of Duty. Last year, I honestly thought with Black Ops 4, that would be the year that they'd do this, and they didn't, and there was quite a bit of backlash against that. I was really strongly speaking out against that Black Ops pass. I think it was a horrible idea. I'm glad to see that they're finally getting with the times, and all maps will be free. But that does also raise the question, how many maps will we get post-launch? Are we going to get the same number of maps that we're used to getting? Or since we're not paying for any maps, are they going to give us fewer maps? Again, this is stuff that we're going to have to find out about down the road, but at least we do know that there is no traditional Season Pass and all maps will be free for everyone that owns the game. Now, one thing I did want to mention when we're talking about crossplay as well as the lack of Season Pass, but there will probably or maybe be some sort of other pass that'll be coming. I really don't know what they have in store for us there. But one thing is PlayStation still has content exclusivity for 7 days. So what this means is any new content that is added into the game, we're not talking about balancing patches or bug fixes or anything. Obviously, those things will have to happen simultaneously since we'll be playing within the same gameplay environment. But things like cosmetics and yes, even post-launch maps, even though they'll be free, PlayStation players will be getting them 7 days before Xbox and PC players. Now, when it comes to post-launch weapons, this should be quite interesting. It'll likely be the case that PlayStation users will get this first because that's part of their contract, but they're going to have it where if you kill somebody that's a PlayStation player and you're playing on Xbox and they're using that gun, you should be able to pick that gun up and still be able to use it. You just won't be able to add it onto your classes and go into a game with that gun equipped. So that's quite interesting. It would have been nice to see that go as well, but I think these are multi-year contracts. This was probably signed, I think it was actually signed a year or two ago. They renewed that contract with Sony. So I'm really not surprised that this is still here. At least it's just 7 days. It's not like the 30 days we used to have in the past. And I think 7 days is reasonable when it comes to this. If there is going to be some form of exclusivity, at least it's not as bad as it used to be. Next up, some big news that a lot of Black Ops 4 players or previous Black Ops 4 players will really enjoy. There are no specialists in multiplayer for Modern Warfare. So it looks like we won't have any sort of big special abilities, which is no surprise because they are going back to like modern day, so we don't have crazy abilities or crazy futuristic equipment that we can use. It looks like, based on everything that we've seen so far, all the little bits of information, this will be more of a classic style Call of Duty. But then again, we haven't seen gameplay yet. We don't know all the details on gameplay. We just know that there will not be specialists in this game. Now, one thing that we will have when it comes to customization are things called operators. And you can see here we have operator packs. This is for one of the pre-order bonuses. And it looks like what you're going to be doing, instead of choosing a specialist, you choose an operator, which is purely cosmetic, as far as we can tell so far at least. You can basically dress your character up. We don't know what level of customization, like can you choose the pants and the shirt of your character as well as the face and the mask or anything like that. But we do know that you can get these operator packs. So you have like the Crew Expendable pack, the All Gillied Up pack, and the War Pig pack, which are all throwbacks to the COD 4 storyline. And I think they look really cool. I hope they keep the customization grounded in reality. I realize usually towards the end of a Call of Duty's life cycle, they start to get a little bit crazy with the customization. But at least at launch, it looks like it's going to be very grounded. And that is good news for people that like that really gritty, modern Call of Duty style game. In addition to the operators, you can also see some customization with weapons. And it's interesting to note that it says cosmetic weapon variants. So it looks like we will have cosmetic weapon variants, kind of like we saw in Modern Warfare Remastered, as well as kind of like the Mastercrafts in Black Ops 4, although again, grounded in reality a whole lot more, whereas a lot of those Mastercrafts in Black Ops 4 are just ridiculous looking. And this is good news as well. I hope there's going to be a lot of them. I hope they're going to be grounded in reality, and I think this is where they're going to end up making a lot of their money this time around with COD. This brings us to the next piece of information we got, and this has to do with player count in multiplayer. According to the Microsoft Store, I believe the PlayStation Store states this as well, this game's multiplayer will support between 2 and 20 players. So what that means is we will likely be seeing Ground War, and we might even see like a little bit more than Ground War, because normally Ground War is 18 players total in a lobby. It looks like this game's going to support up to 20, so we might have something like Ground War Plus in this game, but that's all the detail we have on that, and anything beyond the 2 to 20 players is just left to speculation. We don't know exactly what that means, but most people are speculating that we are going to have like a Ground War Plus type of a mode. In addition to that, I did want to mention that when we were at the IW studio, they have confirmed that there will be cross-leveling across different modes. So you can actually level up your character within campaign, and all of that leveling that you do on your character and your weapon, for instance, will carry over to the multiplayer aspect of the game. And same thing goes with their co-op mode, which appears to be like a Spec Ops type system, but they also said that it's a new mode, so we're still really unsure what that's going to be. But in either case, you can level up in those modes, and it will carry over to multiplayer and vice versa. So with that, like I said, that's everything that we know for sure so far, although, like I said, some of that stuff in there is speculation based on the facts that we know. But now there's one last thing I wanted to talk about, and this is actually a big rumor that's been floating around. It's a rumored leak, at least, that for this year's Call of Duty multiplayer, we won't actually have a mini-map by default, and you have to earn a UAV to get the mini-map. If this is the case, I really think I'm going to be strongly against this. I don't like the idea of that at all. It's fine in hardcore because that's just kind of the idea of hardcore, is you have those limited tools, limited heads-up display, and it's supposed to be like as realistic as possible, essentially. Like, not really realistic. It is still Call of Duty after all, but you get what I mean with that. I really feel that the minimap is a vital tool and a huge part of Call of Duty, and removing that, I really don't think would be a good idea, so I hope this isn't the case. We will have to wait and find out once we get a proper multiplayer reveal, but at least based on that rumor, I really don't like the sounds of that, and I hope this isn't true. But with that, that's pretty much it. Unfortunately, we don't have any indication about the actual gameplay itself with multiplayer, which may be a good thing as well. They've got time to build that hype up. We don't know when we're going to be getting a multiplayer reveal. They honestly wouldn't tell us. We tried to get that information out of them when we were at Infinity Ward, and they simply wouldn't tell us when we are going to be seeing multiplayer. So we don't know when the reveal for that will be. It could be at E3, but I actually suspect that E3 will be more of like a campaign walkthrough, and they'll be talking about the engine improvements and stuff. And it seems likely that we won't be seeing multiplayer until maybe July or sometime around then. That's just a guess, but I am interested to see how they handle multiplayer this time around. At least we have some confirmed information from yesterday. And of course, I'd like to know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about the way that multiplayer seems to be shaping up based on what we know so far? I realize it's not really gameplay related, most of this stuff, but that's just kind of how things go. The information isn't out there yet, but I would also like to know your thoughts on the rumor that there won't be a minimap unless you get a UAV in regular multiplayer modes. Do you like the sounds of that idea, or will you be really disappointed if that turns out to be true? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.
Yeah.